ACG. We're a networking and consulting company in the networking and telecom space, and we focus with a lot of different customers regarding some of the trends and value propositions that they're offering, whether it's a disruptive technology or an emerging technology. And we deal with a lot of service providers, a lot of equity firms, as well as a lot of vendors. One of the things lately is that I've been bombarded with a lot of different phone calls lately, and it's related to some of the shift and disruption going on in the service provider edge market. And instead of fielding all these calls moving forward, I thought it would be a good idea to actually speak to Alcatel-Lucent. So I have Kevin and Lindsay here. Thank you for being here. And what I want to do is put them a little bit in the hot seat and get into some of the specifics so I can answer some of the service provider questions as well as some of the Wall Street questions. So why don't we get started? I think if we look at some of the numbers, especially specifically in the downturn in the economy that we had, we've seen that Alcatel was actually able to gain year-over-year growth. And there's been this, even in some cases, actually gained some market share. And in this particular area, I wanted to get a detail to say what has been the main driver for that strong momentum.
Sure, I'll take that, Ray, thanks. I think it's interesting, as you say, to note in 2009, in a market, the service provider router space that declined more than 10% last year, we grew our revenue more than 10%. What enabled that? Principally, it was around our focus on enabling revenue-generating services. I think service providers generally last year in the downturn really focused their CapEx on revenue-generating opportunities. They perhaps ran their networks a little bit hotter, higher traffic loads, didn't invest so much CapEx in just dealing with capacity and traffic, but carried on investing in the key strategic projects that enable new services that deliver revenue to the service provider. For example, Ethernet and IP VPN services to business customers, or residential broadband services like IPTV that actually bring in new subscribers and new revenue. Similarly, on the mobile side, with spend on backhaul that ultimately not only deals with subscriber growth and traffic growth, but also reduces their operational costs by moving to newer technologies. So I think in some regards, it was our focus on the revenue-generating services rather than just the traffic and capacity growth. But also, I think it's also related to our ability to expand our addressable market. Backhaul, I mentioned. We saw a big increase last year in mobile carrier spend on backhaul. We also saw it in the fixed world, though, with the likes of cable MSOs and telcos, the fixed carriers, spending more money on backhaul as a wholesale service to mobile operators. And that was a market that we strongly entered in 2009. I think also, if you look at some of the new projects that we had, we're now in 26 of the world's top 30 carriers as of the end of 2009. And we announced new projects last year with the likes of NTT in Japan, with Docomo in Japan, with Quest in the US, with Cox and MSO in the US. So I think we've expanded our market presence as well, and that's all helped drive this revenue growth.
Now, there's been a lot of branding that we hear regarding HLM, or high leverage network. Now, there's going to be a lot of service providers listening to this. What does it really mean to a service provider, but more importantly, how does it relate to the IP portfolio you offer?
Sure, good question, thanks Ray. The approach to HLN, the high leverage network, is really to address the dichotomy that service providers are facing in the marketplace over the next few years. On the one hand, traffic is growing very fast across all networks, business, residential and mobile customer bases. So they have to scale and improve the cost per bit for delivering that traffic. But that doesn't inherently bring additional revenue or better profitability to the service provider. So the other part of the dichotomy is the leverage part. The high leverage network, it's not just about performance and scalability and reduced cost per bit of transporting traffic. It's also about leveraging the network assets, the intelligence, the instrumentation that goes into the network to enable them to improve their portfolio of services across residential broadband, mobile broadband, and business services. 3 examples just to talk about briefly. In the business services market, something we introduced to the market last year, and we already have service providers offering to their business customers, are what we call application assured VPNs. In that sense, the IP portfolio enables service providers to deliver not just connectivity using Ethernet or IP to their business customers, but to become a real IT partner, to look at the application performance characteristics across those VPN services and enable the enterprise customer to get better application performance, not just more bandwidth. That's one example. Second one, as part of our HLN strategy last year, we acquired Velocix. This enables us to offer service providers their own content delivery networks. Instead of buying content delivery as a service from a third party, they can actually build their own optimized content delivery network architectures and strategies to improve the way that they can partner with content providers and media companies to deliver that content and a better quality of experience to the end user, the consumer, for that content and those applications. And the third one is really about network intelligence and policy control. Another example of HLN would be where service providers are looking to offer multi-screen services. Whether you're in the home, logged onto the internet with a PC, or you're watching something on TV, or you're mobile and you're looking at it on a handset. Service providers who can offer both mobile and fixed services want to offer that same seamless experience across all of those devices. Any applications, any content, any device, anywhere, anytime. High leverage networks are going to enable them to do that with converged policy control across, so ensuring that the right quality of experience and characteristics of the network are delivered to both mobile users and fixed users, but also the network intelligence to understand what's possible and what the subscriber's actually connected to and requesting, and what they're prepared to pay for, frankly. So it's to enable high leverage networks will enable users to get the experience they want and in a way in which they're prepared to pay for it, and to enable service providers to really leverage their network assets across their whole customer base and their whole application and content portfolio as well.
Thank you. Now, there's been a lot of positive, I think Lindsay, this is more for you, there's been a lot of positive momentum between Alcatel-Lucent and LTE. And if we look specifically at the Evolved Packet Core space, it seems that there's a lot of router vendors playing in that space or trying to come up with some messaging there. What really has been Alcatel-Lucent's approach when you look at mobile core, and how well is it positioned when you look at this transformation to wireless IP?
Right, thanks Ray. Yes, I certainly think when you look at LTE, when we look at LTE, and I think when many of the mobile operators look at LTE, they think of LTE equals wireless plus IP plus integration services. And we think that positions Alcatel-Lucent very well in the marketplace. We have a very strong IP practice, obviously, we've built up over the last 7 years. We have a tremendous presence and expertise in the wireless RAN domain across CDMA and WCDMA technologies, and now in LTE as well. And we have a tremendous integration services capability in the company. That's led us to the position today where we're in 40 trials for LTE today. We've been selected already by some major mobile operators, not just in the wireless space, but for our end-to-end solution, which includes the Evolved Packet Core. We started work on the Evolved Packet Core almost 3 years ago now, and it's really taken quite a while to get the IP guys like us to understand wireless technology and terminology, and the wireless guys to understand IP technology and terminology. We've spent 3 years on that. So I think where others maybe are just trying to come into the market now, we've built up that joint expertise across wireless and IP domains over the last 3 years. Our approach to the packet core is very much build and deliver a very highly scalable, high-performance, next-gen platform for the requirements of LTE, but support both the 3G and the LTE feature set and capabilities and requirements of the marketplace. Because clearly, all of the radio technologies are going to be around for a long time to come. It's not like mobile operators can turn off their 2G networks next year when they start rolling out LTE. They're going to have 2G, 3G, and LTE in a mixed environment for 5 or 10 years at least to come. So our focus is very much on intercepting where the market's going, having the most scalable, highest performance platforms for the packet core, but also being able to pick up the legacy technologies and the existing traffic as well.
Thank you.